Hi, this is Roopa Prasad, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Applications, MITS College. So today we are going to give the top presentation on PGP, that is called as a pretty good privacy. So it is one of the protocol that is used to provide security for the electronic mail, that is email. So email security can be provided by using a protocol called as a PGP, that is called as a pretty good privacy. So coming to the contents of this presentation. So first we are going to discuss what is this PGP, what is this PGP, actually what is the history of this PGP. Then we come for the notations that are used in this process of PGP. Then we discuss about the PGP services, that are the what are the services that can be provided by using the protocol called as a PGP. So what are the services it is providing means it is providing authentication, confidentiality, compression, as well as email compatibility that we will discuss. Later we go for the how PGP is going to generate the message and that how the PGP message reception will be done. Okay, so these are the contents which we are going to discuss today. Coming to this introduction part, there is a history of the PGP. So this PGP is a protocol, that is a pretty good privacy is a protocol which has been developed in 1991 by a person known as Phil Zipperman. Okay, so what this PGP is going to provide means it is going to provide the confidentiality and authentication service to the email as well as the file storage applications. For file storage application also, we are going to provide the security by using PGP. So this PGP is available free. It is available for free worldwide in versions that run on a variety of platforms including Windows, Unix, Macintosh and many more. Okay, and this PGP is developed based on the algorithms. So those algorithms are RSA algorithm, DSS, Diffie-Hellman for public key encryption, CAST 128 IDEA and triple DES for symmetric encryption. For public key encryption, we are going to use algorithms like RSA, DSS, and Diffie-Hellman. For private key encryption, we are going to use algorithms called CAST 128 IDEA and triple DES. And for hash encoding, we are going to use SHA-1. SHA-1 has been used in this PGP. Used for PGP, that is a pretty good privacy protocol. So these algorithms are considered to be extremely secure. These algorithms we are going to use. Okay, and coming to the notations, first we must have an idea about the notations. Here we are using KS. So KS means KS refers to the session key. Session key that is used in the asymmetric encryption process. Symmetric encryption scheme. We are using the session key, and the session key is designated as KS. And then private key of the user can be designated as PRA, that is used in the public key encryption. And public key of the user A is referred as PUA. Then EP is used for the public key encryption and DP is used for the public key decryption, whereas EC is used for symmetric encryption, that is private key encryption, and DC is referred for the symmetric decryption. So H is referred for the hash function, this symbol is referred for the concatenation, and Z is referred for the compression, and this compression can be done by using the zip algorithm. And for ASCII format for supporting the for ASCII R64 will be used. That is a conversion to Radix 64. This is referred as R64. These are some of the notation that we are going to encounter in the algorithm. And coming to the services that are provided by PGP. So PGP provides 5 different types of services. One we call it as authentication, and the next service is confidentiality, and next one is compression, and next one is email compatibility, and last one is segmentation. Segmentation is nothing but dividing the message into segments, passing into the dividing the message into segments, parts. It is going to divide the message into segments, some of the segments. So these are some of the services that are provided by the PGP, what we call it as a pretty good privacy. And coming to this authentication service, what is provided by PGP. So what is authentication? Authentication means verifying the identity, and this authentication can be provided by using digital signature. As we already know that authentication can be achieved by using digital signature service. And how that can be done in PGP means by using if you see this scenario, we can able to understand. So here this is a sender side. So sender is having the message. That message is given to the hash function. That message is given to the hash function, which is a SHA algorithm. Here we are going to use the SHA-1, which is going to produce 160-bit hash code. 160-bit hash code. This hash function. So whenever the message is given to the hash function, it generates a code, hash code. That hash code will be encrypted. This is a private encryption. EP refers to symmetric encryption. Um, and by using the by using the private key of the sender, and that will be concatenated with the original message. The encrypted hash code is concatenated with the message. Then that will be compressed by zip. Zip is used for compression. So that will be sent to the user. That will be sent to the receiver. That whole thing is compressed. So first message is given to hash function in order to generate hash code. That hash code is encrypted by using the private key of sender. This is public key encryption. EP is the public key encryption. Here we are using asymmetric encryption process. So by using the private key of sender, we are going to encrypt the hash code. This is the digital signature. This is generating the signature. How the signature is generated? If we encrypt by using the private key of the sender, then only it is called as a signature. So that signature will be appended to the message. And that will be given, that will be compressed. Entire thing, message plus encrypted signature, encrypted hash code will be zipped. Okay, in order to compress the message. So that will be sent to the receiver. At the receiver side, we get the zipped message that we are going to unzip. So when we unzip the receiver, is going to unzip, the receiver is going to find the message along with the encrypted hash code. Then hash code is encrypted by using the private key of sender. So that can be decrypted by using the public key of sender. Then this message will be given to the hash function, same hash function. So if both hash codes, the decrypted hash code is equal to the calculated hash code, then only we can ensure the integrity. That is a authentication procedure. That is a digital signature procedure that is followed in the PGP protocol. And what is the next? So here at the receiver side, so here, so what happens? Same procedure, what I said. So the sender is going to send and the receiver is going to send, do the same. First the receiver is going to unzip. That is, he is going to uncompress. So if he uncompress, what he is going to find? He is going to find the encrypted hash code along with the message. The encrypted hash code is given to the decryption algorithm. For this decryption algorithm, we are going to use the public key of sender, because it is encrypted by using the private key. So we get the hash code. So this message is given to the hash function to generate the hash code. If the decrypted hash code is equal to the calculated hash code, then only it ensures the integrity. Like that, we are going to provide the authentication and integrity. And coming to the next service that is provided by PGP, that is confidentiality. Confidentiality means what? Only the intended receiver has to view the message. Privacy. We have to provide the privacy. So how the privacy is going to provide means, so like this man. So this is a message. First, the message will be compressed. And it will be encrypted. We are going to use a conventional encryption, that is a symmetric encryption. For this one, we are using a key called as a KS, that is a session key that is used for the symmetric encryption. So how this session key is encrypted by using the public key of the receiver. So So this will be appended. The message will, the zipper message is encrypted. That encrypted is appended with the session key. Appended with the session key. The session key is also encrypted by using the private public key of receiver. So that will be placed here. That is what we are having, the encrypted message and also the encrypted key. Encrypted message as well as the encrypted key that will be given to the sender, that will be given to the receiver, that will be given to the receiver. So what the receiver is going to do, receiver is going to receive the encrypted session key and also the encrypted message. In order to decrypt the message, he requires the session key. So first he is going to decrypt the session key. He is going to decrypt the session key. For this encryption process, we are going to use the asymmetric encryption. That is the public key encryption, which is encrypted by using the public key of B. So it can be decrypted by using the private key of B. Then he gets the session key. By using the session key, the message will be decrypted. If he decrypts the message, he is going to find the compressed format of the message. Then it will be uncompressed by using Z, can compress, so that the receiver can get the message. So here what we observe is, so here we have the confidentiality, but there is no authentication, as you observe. So in the previous thing we have the authentication, but there is no confidentiality because the message is going as a plain text. So there is no confidentiality. Here the message is encrypted, but there is no authentication. That means we cannot ensure that the message has come from the aligned sender only. So we are having only confidentiality, but we don't have the authentication. In order to provide both, that is both confidentiality and authentication, we are going for the next service that we call it as, that is included only confidentiality and authentication. How we are going to provide means, so for see here in this diagram we can see. So here the message, first the message is given to the hash function in order to generate the hash code. So this hash code will be encrypted by using the asymmetric encryption by using the private key of sender. Thereby he produces a signature. Thereby we can achieve the authentication. Then the message will be concatenated with the encrypted hash code. So this message will be compressed. After compressing, to provide the confidentiality, the whole thing will be encrypted. Here we are using the private key encryption by using a key called as a KS, that is a session key. This key is encrypted by using the public key of the receiver. So that will be appended with the encrypted message that will be given to the receiver, that will be given to the receiver. Here we can understand both. Here we are having the authentication part and here we are having the confidentiality part, and the receiver is going to perform in the reverse order. First he is going to this is a message. First he is going to get the session key by decrypting by using the private key of B, that is the private key of receiver. Then the receiver gets the session key. By using the session key, he is going to decrypt the encrypted message. Then the encrypted message is zipped only, compressed only. So he is going to uncompress. After uncompressing, what he found the message along with the hash code for authentication purpose. For the integrity purpose, we are using the hash code. So this hash code is encrypted by using the private key of A, that is authentication signature. So this encrypted hash code will be decrypted by using the public key of A. Then the message will be given to the hash function to generate the hash code. If the decrypted hash code is equal to the generated hash code, then only the message is considered as valid. Okay. So here, in order to encrypt for the confidentiality purpose, we are going to use this one. That is a symmetric encryption we are going to use. For this purpose, we can use the CAST 128 algorithm, or we can go for the IDEA or triple DES. And this RSA, that is a session key, is encrypted by using the public key encryption, and mostly we are going to use the RSA algorithm, or we can go for the LGML algorithm, which is the public key encryption algorithms. That is a process how we are going to have the confidentiality as well as authentication, both combined. Okay. And the next service that is provided by PGP is compression. Compression is nothing but that reducing the content of the message, So PGP defaultly compresses. How it is going to compress? It compresses the message after applying the signature. After applying the signature, but before the encryption. Before the encryption. Normally in PG, what we have seen in that application is after applying that one only we are compressed. Now generally PGP, what the PGP is going to do means PGP is going to compress the message after applying the signature, but before the encryption. So for benefit of saving the space only we are performing the encryption. So compression algorithm is indicated by Z, and for Z inverse is used for the decompression. See in this one, the message is given to the hash function to get the signature. The signature will be encrypted. Whenever we encrypt the message, the hash code, then only it calls as a signature. So we are going to encrypt by using the symmetric encryption by using the private key of the sender. So that we call it as a signature. The signature along with the message will be compressed. Compressed, that is a compression. That is a compression. And next, coming to the another type of service that we call it as email compatibility. So what is this meant by email compatibility means? So PGP is used when only PGP is used, the block of the least part of the block to be transmitted is encrypted. Okay, if the signature service is used, then the message digest has to be encrypted. If confidentiality service is used, then message and signature has to be encrypted. So when we apply these one, then what happens? The resulting block consists of a stream of arbitrary 8-bit octets. 8-bit octets. But generally, what the email is going to do means the email is supporting only ASCII text, that is 7-bit only. It does not support the 8-bit. So this in order to remove this restriction, so it is going to convert. The PGP provides a service for converting the raw 8-bit binary stream to a stream of printable ASCII characters. So for this scheme, we are going to use a radix 64 conversion. Radix 64 conversion. So in this conversion, what happens? Each group of 8 octets of binary data is mapped to 4 ASCII characters. So in this format, in order to detect the transmission errors, we are going to use a CRC. That is a cyclic redundancy check error detection method. We are going to use this one only. So that we call it as a email compatibility. Email compatibility. This is one of the service that is provided by the PGP. Then we come how the PGP is going to generate the message. How the message can be generated by using the PGP protocol. That is simply we can call it as a PGP procedure. So first, what is the first and foremost step is it has to sign the message. Signing the message is the first step in the PGP generation. So what the PGP is going to do means the PGP is going to get the private key of the sender. Why? Because the message hash code has to be encrypted. So in order to encrypt the hash code with the private key of the sender, it has to get the private key. So how the private key is got means, so every sender is having, every system is having the private key ring will be there. So from the ring, we are going to get the private key. Okay, so that can be identified by using the identity of the sender, that is the identity of A. So this private key is encrypted. What we are having in the ring is the encrypted private key that has to be decrypted. That has to be decrypted by using the this we call it as a passwords. Okay, so that can be decrypted. So whenever we decrypt the encrypted private key, we get the private key of the sender. The private key of the sender is used for the encryption of the message hash code. That is first the message. As we have already discussed, the message will be given to the hash function in order to generate the message digest. That is a hash code. That hash code will be encrypted. That hash code will be encrypted. For the encryption, we require the private key of sender that can be retrieved from the private key ring. Okay. After encrypting, that has to be concatenated with the original message. Concatenated with the original message. That is a signature and message has to be concatenated. After concatenating, for protection purpose, we have to encrypt. We have to encrypt. So for encryption, what you are going to do? We are going to perform the private key encryption. So in order to have the private key encryption, we require the session key. We require the session key that this session key has to be given to the receiver. So what we are going to do means this session key will be used for encrypting the message plus signature. So it becomes encrypted signature plus message. This session key again has to be encrypted. In order to send to the receiver, we have to encrypt. Securely we have to send them. That's why we are going to encrypt. So that can be encrypted by using the receiver's public key, and that public key can be get by using the public key ring. By using to whom you have to send, we have to send to B. So by using the identity of B, we are going to get the public key will be taken from the public key ring, and that will be the key ID is also added as also appended to the session key, encrypted session key, as well as the encrypted signature and the digest, and that will be given to the receiver. Hope you understand. Once again I will tell. So first the message is given to the hash function in order to generate the hash code. Then this message digest, that is a hash code, has to be encrypted. So how it is encrypted? By using the private key, of the sender, which we can get from the private key ring. But this key is encrypted, so that can be decrypted by using the passparts. So we are going to get the key. By using the key, we are going to encrypt the digest. Then the encrypted digest has to be appended to the original message, that is the signature and message. This has to be encrypted. So for the encryption, we are going to use the private key encryption. So for this private key encryption, we require the session key. So thus by using the session key, we are going to encrypt the message. This session key has to be sent to the receiver. For that purpose, we are going to encrypt the session key by using the public key of the receiver. Then altogether we are appending and we are sending to the receiver. Okay. So that is encrypting the message. All we had this part is called as an encrypting message. This part is called as an encrypting message. So PGP generates a session key and encrypts a message. PCP retrieves the recipient's public key from the public key ring using her user ID as an index. The session key component of the message is constructed. So it is constructed. So it will be play along with the one we have to send. Then we will see how we are going to how the receiver is going to act. Okay, so what the receiver is going to get? The receiver is going to get the receiver's key ID in order to retrieve the private key, that is encrypted by using the public key. So we require the private key. So that receiver ID and also the encrypted session key along with the encrypted signature and the message. Okay, so by using this receiver's key ID, the receiver is going to get the private key. So that private key is encrypted, so it can be decrypted by using the passphrase. So we get the private key. That private key will be used for decryption of the encrypted session key. So whenever we decrypt the encrypted session key, we get the session key. That session key is used to decrypt the encrypted signature and the message. So when we decrypt, what we get the sender's key ID and encrypted message, encrypted digest, and also the message. By using the sender's key ID, we are going to get the public key of the sender, because signature is encrypted by this digest is encrypted by using the private key of sender. So we require the public key. So in order to retrieve the public key, we are going to use the sender's key ID. So whenever we use the key ID as an index, we are going to get the sender's public key. That sender's public key is used for decrypting the digest. Okay, that is a hash code. Then this plain message is given to the hash function in order to generate the code. When this calculated, then this decrypted digest is equal to the calculated hash code, then only the message is considered as authenticated and integrity, ensures the integrity. It is valid. That is a procedure what the PGP is going to follow. Okay, authenticating the message and how it is going to fall. That is a generation process and receiving process also. And this material is prepared by using these textbooks. These are the reference textbooks which is used for preparing the content. And if you have any queries, you can give your query to this form. Hope you understand. Thank you.